I don't know if anyone remembers that random team of scrubs we played earlier in the Champions League. What were they? They were a French team. I think they were from Paris. That team that happened to beat us both times in the group stage. Guess who we've got in the quarter-final of the Champions League? Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to episode 12 of Let's Go Villa. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video, where we're going to be playing against Paris Saint-Germain in the second leg of the Champions League quarter-final, and then we'll see what happens. If we manage to get through against Paris Saint-Germain, remember they did beat us both times in the group stage earlier in the season. If we manage to get through against them, we'll play the second leg of the semi-final of the Champions League. That's what we'll do. If not, then we might do Manchester City. Everton is an FA Cup semi-final, so we might do that one as well. We'll make that decision when we come to it. But if you're excited to see how we get on in the Champions League, of course, hoping that we win. I'd like to think you're hoping that we win. If you're not, then you're a monster. But leave a like on the video anyway, because I still love you. And subscribe to the channel so you never miss any lovely FM content from yours truly. Since you were last with us, we're a very good football team. We really are. It's been a great run. Yes, we lost that game, but since then we haven't lost a game. Beat United 2-0 again, because apparently that's all we do now is beat Manchester United. We didn't beat Leicester. Leicester was a tough one. Jacob Ramsey bailing us out in that game. It was a tough one, I have to say. And then we did absolutely smash Chelsea in the FA Cup quarter-final. Chelsea really having a rough time of it. If I was going to do what I did in the Parma save and leave for another team at the end of the save, Chelsea would be the team. Maybe we will be taking charge of Chelsea at some point when FM22 comes out, though. We then beat Wolves. We avenged our defeats against Wolves because they've been a bit of a bogey team for us, but we did end up going to smash them. Vitinha, Danny Ings and Cole Palmer all doing really well in that one. Drew against Paris Saint-Germain in the first leg. That's the important thing because it was the away leg. We've got the home leg coming up. So there is genuinely a real chance that we could get through. And we did it with 10 men. Emi Buendia getting sent off in the 73rd minute. We managed to survive for the rest of the game. Actually looked like we could nick it a couple of times as well. And then we beat Burnley 3-0. Ollie Watkins with a double and Jacob Ramsey, who has really looked good this season actually for a youngster. He's definitely looked the business when we've needed him. Hopefully he continues to grow. Hopefully he continues to be a solid player. But all of that leads to today. Paris Saint-Germain. Now, just as a reminder, the last two times we played against them, at home, lost 1-0. Away from home, lost 3-0. We've improved on the away from home form by getting that draw. We're hoping we can do better in the home leg. That is obvious. One bit of news that is worth bringing up. If I just go to here, I don't know whether it will come up yet. It's not going to come up yet. Cole Palmer has joined us permanently. We have actually spent the money that we didn't think we had. We've managed to balance the books a little bit. But yeah, Cole Palmer is on his way in, joining us on the 30th. I can't remember how much money it was. It was like £30 million or something like that. I think we ended up having to do some add-ons though, which was a bit frustrating because you know my feelings on that for this save. I think it was 30 million. And then about £6 million if he plays 50 games for us. Obviously, once that contract starts, he's still on his loan contract at the moment, so it's still very, very cheap. But he will be on a contract of around £50,000-60,000 a week, so it is worth pointing that out. But none of that matters for now because it's time for the second leg against Paris Saint-Germain, and this is the 11 we're going to be going in there with. It's Martinez in goal, Cash, Konsa, Mings, Digne in defence, Aya, Gonçalves and Douglas Luiz in the midfield with Palmer and Coutinho supporting Watkins up front. Go with Watkins because he's been in better form recently than Danny Ings, although Danny Ings has been in good form as well, so actually we could have gone with either of them. Buendia is suspended, he won't be involved. Lindelof is missing. Why is Lindelof missing out? No, he should be on the bench. Yeah, Buendia is the only one really missing out as a result of his suspension. Obviously, Jeremy Boga, who is back fit, he's unregistered because I just didn't register him. So he misses out as well. Vitinha is actually out because I don't actually know why Vitinha's... Why did Pastu do this? I understand that we've got a limited amount of players we can have on the bench. I think it's because Jacob Ramsey and Sander Berge are in better form than him, although he's been in good form himself. He really has. I mean, all this is a tough one. We're going to leave things as they are. Pastu chose it as a reason, so we're going to go with it. But let's see whether we can scrape through. It's 1-1. We're at home in the second leg. Let's try and get through into the next round, shall we? Let's go. I will say I have been spoiled in the Premier League a little bit, having the 9-man bench and the 5 substitutions that you can make. It just gives you so many options. Oh my God, we've gone ahead straight away. It's the 3rd minute and Christopher Aya has gone and put it in the back of the net. It's a Lucas Digne corner that's done it as well. And Christopher Aya Our defensive midfielder, who we originally signed as a centre-back, puts us 1-0 ahead, 2-1 on aggregate. That is the best start we could have had. Tyrone Mings was there as well, trying to get involved on the action. And we lead. And I can't remember what the point I was making. Yeah, we're spoiled with the amount of substitutions we can make in the Premier League. 5 substitutions from 9 is utterly ridiculous. I'm a big fan of it, but it is utterly ridiculous because it means that we really do struggle sometimes when we come into these competitions where we have only a 7-man bench. As a result of that, Vitinha, not in the squad today. Neither is Diego Carlos, who's just come back from his injury. So they're going to be missing out, and it will limit the options we've got on the bench. I can't remember whether we can make only 3 substitutions. I think we can. Cole Palmer's in here. Cole Palmer, who has been exceptional this season, and I'm really happy that he signed a permanent deal with us. Cannot wait to get him in permanently next season. It doesn't really change anything other than the fact we know he's not going to be going back to Manchester City. The one thing I do have to mention, though, is if I remember correctly, and I think I do, Man City do have a buyback clause on him, but it's an expensive buyback clause that has an expiry date. They'd have to pay something like 70 million for him. I'm not going to lie. If they want to pay 70 million to bring back Cole Palmer, I'm okay with it. I'm absolutely fine with it. We have started off really well in this game, and Coutinho's picked up a knock, which is a bit frustrating. We just need to maintain this start. I mean, Cole Palmer, again, just getting very close to getting a goal there. We just need to maintain this start. A second goal would settle us down. It's utterly ridiculous to think that we'd be in a semi-final in Season 2 in our first season in the Champions League. But then, I know I keep bringing it back to this, FM22 on Twitch. We got Villa to the Champions League final in the second season. We went and won the thing in the final. And we did it by playing a lot more defensive football in this as well. So, it's a little bit ridiculous. However, stranger things have happened. They genuinely have. I mean, think about that Porto team that got to the Champions League final. Jose Mourinho's first ever Champions League win. Utterly ridiculous. Utter madness. It can happen. It's unlikely, but it can happen. If Leicester can win the Premier League over 38 games, a random team can win the Champions League. It is possible. And we are holding on a little bit here. Although I'll say that, we've dominated the game completely. Paris Saint-Germain, who are playing with a 4-4-2 again. I don't understand why their manager is playing with a 4-4-2. It doesn't suit them at all. It doesn't suit the players they've got. And I feel like that's a bit of an AI thing. And Digne's giving away a foul here, and I'm a little bit worried that we're seeing this. I'm a little bit concerned. Is it another red card? It's another red card. Got a red card in the last game as well. And Lucas Digne has given us a long 45 minutes in the second half. A long 45 minutes. Right. Well, Aya goes to the back. It could be a ball player. Douglas is going to have to be that. And, I mean, you're going to have to not do this. You're going to have to do something else. In fact, you're going to be a ball winner. And you're going to be the playmaker. And we're going to have you as the advanced playmaker on support. So you are getting forward. Oh, that's affected things a little bit, hasn't it? Right. Drop the line back. We don't want as big a gap between here. And we'll just go with that. Well, that's caused a few problems, hasn't it? Right. This is going to be a very difficult second half to get through. Very, very difficult. We'll say that one. I mean, he was one of our better players, Lucas Digne, as well. He was doing really, really well for us. And he goes and puts in a silly tackle. Right, realistically, what do we do here? Well, both Gonçalves and Douglas Luiz aren't playing well. I mean, I'd rather take Gonçalves off because I'd rather bring on Sander Berge and have him and Douglas Luiz in the middle. This is where I wish we had Vitinha on the bench. And I knew something like that might come back to bite me. And it has. We could make 2 substitutions. The problem being, what do we? I really don't know what to do here. Right, here's what's going to happen. Christopher Aya is going to come forward for Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz is going to come off for Victor Lindelof. Because we don't have Bjorkan on the bench. Again, the 7-man bench is really hurting me, which is ridiculous. Because I remember back when it was a 5-man bench. Because I'd really, really like to bring on Bjorkan there and put Mings back to central defence. But we're going to have to do that. So Christopher Aya can do that. And then I think we're going to take Gonçalves off, which is a little bit ridiculous. But Sander Berge is going to come on. And we'll make him a deep line playmaker on defend as well. I know it's keeping these 2 in here. But I feel like having a little bit of a brick wall, solid wall here is going to be more important for us going into the rest of the game. And then we've got that 1 substitution to play later. It's a risky strategy, I know. Because going defensive in Football Manager doesn't always work. In fact, let's be honest, it very rarely works. But we're going to do it and we're going to see if we can get by with it. I'm hoping having those two in the middle and having Berge be the guy who's looking for passes is going to pay off for us. But we know Mbappe can get behind our defence, so I think squishing the team down the way that we have is going to definitely help us. And Cole Palmer's got him behind again here. They are really struggling with him on this side. And if his end product was a bit better, oh my word, speaking of end products being better, if Coutinho's was, we could be 2 ahead here. We could be 2 ahead on the night, 3-1 on aggregate. And somehow, some way, we are still causing them all of the problems. I don't fully understand it. I also don't fully understand how, from the looks of this, it's still got... I mean, to be fair, I think Lucas Digne is that number 14 there. I think. Yeah, he's number... Oh, no. Yeah, Lucas Digne, number 14. Yeah, so he's number 14 there, so he's not moved. That's the reason why. It's still 1-0. It's still 1-0, and somehow, some way, we're holding on here. And I don't really understand it. Right, we've got one more substitution to make. I don't really know who to change. It's got to be... I mean, Santa Badger's not had a good game. I'm not going to take him off. We're going to bring Horg on, I think. Or Haag. Or Haig. I forgot how to say his name. I've been saying his name all season. Haag. We're going to go with Haag. We're going to bring him on for Coutinho. And Coutinho is going to go off because he had that miss. I think he had a bit of a knock earlier in the game as well. And then I do think we're going to make a couple of tactical changes for the last 10 minutes as well. We have improved as we've gone on, but so have they. We're just going to slow things down. For this last 10 minutes, we're just going to try and slow things down. We don't want them to get in behind us. We're just going to try and congest everything. That's what we want to do. Just want to make sure... In fact, no, I'll tell you what, we'll do that. We'll do that. And we'll just see whether we can see the game out. Because 1-0 will do for us. 1-0 with 10 men. They've got the full squad. Let's just see whether we can see things out here. Right, Hakimi. With the throw to Mbappe. Back to Sarabia. Sarabia now looking for options. Goes for the shot. Puts it over. If they're going to keep doing that, we're going to get through. Come on, lads. Let's just see it out now. Let's just see it out. Right, Mings with the throw. Oh, it's intercepted, but he intercepts back, which is beautiful. Right. Aya gets to Berge. Bit of passing around at the back. Martinez now launches it forward. Bit of a silly thing to do, really, but it's okay. I understand what he's trying to do. Right, Kimpembe. Trying to build from the back for Paris Saint-Germain. Wijnaldum. Back to Kimpembe. Oh, it'd be heartbreaking if we concede a goal here, but I can see it happening. But they give the ball away, and Haag now on the ball. Kind of a bit flat-footed, couldn't get running. Aya now gets to Berge, to Watkins. Watkins, he was looking for the run of Haag, but Haag just wasn't on the same wavelength as him. And Ricardo Horta now, of all the players, on the ball for Paris Saint-Germain, looking to cross the ball in. Does so. Mbappe's there. Mbappe now into Horta, into Verratti. Verratti shot blocked. Sarabia on the ball. All of the pressure from Paris Saint-Germain at the moment, and we're trying to survive it. Nuno Mendes into Horta. Horta in the middle. Lindelof just hoofs it clear. And are we going to get through to an unlikely semi-final in the Champions League? We are. Well, revenge is a dish best served in the quarter-final of the Champions League. I think that's how the saying goes. We've gone and beaten them. First time we've beaten them this season, and we do it with 10 men. Both legs we do it with 10 men. I think we have to be very proud of that one. Very, very proud indeed. I thought we were going to get smashed in the second half after the red card. And we just hold on. The tactics work beautifully. Tactical genius, what have I said? Very, very gracious of their manager saying they don't deserve anything. He's absolutely right, they don't. Coutinho is dropping down a little bit already. Is he 30 years old already? I don't know what his age is. What is he 30 years old now? He is 30. Remember, his natural fitness is a 10, so he is going to start dropping soon. So I don't want to say it, but we might have to start thinking about moving some players on. £9 million into the kitty as well. Beautiful stuff. We are earning all of the dollars for this cup run, which is fantastic. We're going to appeal the ban anyway, just in case. You never know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. A little bit of a pat on the head for Christopher Aya as well. Right. We need to think about this now, because I think we've already had the draw as well. It is Manchester City or Roma. I mean, I know who I'd prefer in that. I'd prefer Roma, because I don't think we'll get past Man City. I mean, Man City are coming up very, very soon. So what we're going to do is exactly what I said before. If we got through against Paris Saint-Germain, which we did, we're going to play through until that second leg of the semi-final. We're going to see exactly what happens. Hopefully, we get through and get to a final, which would be insane. It'd be absolutely nuts. But that's what we're going to hope happens. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Oh, God. What a season. What a season we're having. I'm going to go and play some games, and I'll be back for the semi-final against, hopefully, Roma, probably Manchester City. Yeah, it was Manchester City who got through to beat us 3-0. But let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the fact that we got past Everton and we're in the FA Cup final again. We did also draw against Man City in the league, which was a decent result, actually. We just couldn't get past them. They couldn't get past us. 2-2. We'll take that. And then since the Manchester City game in the first leg, we did get a draw against Everton, which was a really tough one. They scored in the 80th minute. We were definitely not at our best on this one. I think that we got a bit shell-shocked by that 3-0, and Jacob Ramsey had to rescue us off the bench in the 91st minute, which is not ideal. Obviously, we wanted to have finished that in normal time. We wanted to have got a winner before that, but we couldn't do it, and we had to settle with a draw, which isn't a loss, so it is what it is. But we do now have the home leg against Manchester City. Stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened. So we'll go into it and we'll see what we can do. But obviously, false line Erling Haaland. I take everything back because obviously Pep's a genius. Before we get into anything, Emi Buendia is out for the next 4 weeks, probably the season, if we're being completely honest with you. I think he's pretty much done. And Jeremy Boga has actually been sold. He's going to Bournemouth. I think it was for like 10 million or something like that. Far less than I wanted for him, but it's still more than we paid, so we've made a profit on him, so that's okay. But this is going to be the 11 we're taking into the Man City game. It's Martinez in goal, Cash, Konsa, Mings, Digne in defence, Aya, Ramsey and Vitinha in the midfield with Palmer, Coutinho and Ings up front. The reason why Ramsey's in there instead of Gonçalves, form. As you can see, Jacob Ramsey played really well in that last game, got the equaliser for us. He's actually been alright in his last run, whereas Gonçalves has actually kind of levelled out for the season, which is not ideal. So I'm going to go with the informed Jacob Ramsey instead and hope that he does a job for us. But let's just go into it and let's see how this goes. I'd like to think we can get a positive result against Manchester City. Remember, we did beat them in the FA Cup final last season? Oh, I think it was, yeah. So we can get a result against this Man City team. Didn't last time, so see what we can do, shall we? Let's go. I think it would be fair to say getting through to the Champions League final at the first attempt would be utterly ridiculous. However, it would be very Aston Villa on Football Manager. I've mentioned a number of times in videos. Oh, Coutinho nearly has the opportunity. I've mentioned a number of times, both in this series and previous series, when I played with Aston Villa in FM21 on Twitch, my first ever Twitch save on the platform, I ended up getting Villa to the Champions League final in the first season we were in the competition, which was the second season of a save, and we did it with minimum investments as well. So there's a bit of precedent for me getting Villa to a Champions League final very early on. Definitely something that has happened. I don't know necessarily whether I believe we can do it this time. I mean, again, we're playing really well in this opening 10 minutes, though. We are actually kind of dominating Man City, but can we get 3 goals against this City side? I think that's unlikely, but it's definitely something we could do. Now, it would be utterly ridiculous when you consider we're in the FA Cup final and we've already won the Carabao Cup this season. I mean, it'd be the greatest season in football. Like, it's doing a Leicester on steroids. That's what it would be. I can't imagine that is what's going to happen. And Erling Haaland, looking to make sure it doesn't, gets Man City a corner. Their first real showing of any attacking in the game so far. I imagine it won't be the last, if we're being completely honest. I've got a feeling it's a sign of things to come. Also interesting as well, Cole Palmer's not been able to play against Manchester City, but since we signed him permanently, apparently he can. He's technically still on loan, he's technically still a Manchester City player, but because we've signed him, I think the thing of not being able to play against your parent club has gone out the window because he's available. He's been available for this game and the last couple of games as well. One of our players got fouled off the ball there, but Cole Palmer just trying to have a go of it himself. But it's not going to get pulled back. It is going to be a goal kick to Manchester City. We have been all over them in this game, and it was not the case in the first leg. We were getting absolutely battered off the ball. We just did not know how to cope with them. Today, it looks like we're up for the fight. I mean, I've not done any kind of special team talk or anything. We've just gone into it. We've just gone into the game as normal, and we're looking pretty sharp so far, but it's whether we can break that Manchester City defence down. Now, we've got the firepower. We know we can score goals, and the goals come from kind of everywhere. We've not got one out-and-out striker who is an absolute goal machine. Both of the strikers we rotate through have got a reasonable amount of goals this season, but goals have come through the rest of the team as well. I think we're the 3rd best top goal scorers in the league, I think. So we're doing pretty well. So we are where it says we are, but there we go. We've looked really sharp, but Manchester City have Erling Haaland, and I think that's going to be tie over. I don't think we can turn 4-0 over. I think that's probably going to be it. But I'm really happy with the level of performance we've shown in this game so far. We did not look this good in that first game in the Champions League against them. We did not look this good at all. Yes, we've gone 1-0 down, but the performance pleases me. We shouldn't be anywhere near a semi-final of the Champions League. We really shouldn't. So, if we lose today, it's not the end of the world. I am going to encourage the boys, because actually, you know, obviously I want us to win. I want us to get to the Champions League final. I want us to do it again like we did in FM21. If we don't, though, I'm not going to be too upset. I'm a little bit upset looking at the match stats, but we've all played Football Manager before. We all know how it works. Right. Let's say that one. You're unlucky so far. You've done nothing wrong. We're just going to tell Tyrone to calm down, which has not worked. We'll just leave everything else. That's the only thing I can think to do there. Let's just leave it, shall we? They've got Joshua Kimmich. I keep forgetting that they've signed some absolutely superb players in this save so far. Along with the superb players they've got, Erling Haaland. I mean, a combination of size, speed, and power like you just do not believe. Even in Football Manager, it's utterly ridiculous. Right, De Bruyne whips it in. Looking for Rodri. Is that a different Rodrigo? Or is that Rodri? I think that's Rodri, isn't it? It is Rodri. Yellow card. Right, Digne with a free kick in a dangerous position. Goes for it. Just wide. Just wide. Sometimes you can tell with those if they're going to be in. Sometimes you can just look at it and go, that's a worldie waiting to happen. That one wasn't. Obviously, Coutinho doing really well to intercept there. And we're passing it about nicely. Trying to get something going here. Vitinha to Aya. Lovely through ball to Danny Ings, and Danny Ings just can't put it in the back of the net, but he does win the side, a corner, and hopefully we can convert it. Let's try and aim for either Conser or Mings. Let's get one of those guys, maybe Aya as well. Aya's there, and Aya gets the equaliser on the night, and we have one back, and we've got, what's that, just over half an hour to try and get 3 more goals to get to extra time. I can't imagine we're going to do that, but we're just going to tell the lads to fire up. Let's carry on. More of the same, boys. Let's do it. Right, it's another yellow card. Ruben Diaz has got one, and it is going to be free kick o'clock again. Is Coutinho going to stick this top bins? He goes for it, and Ederson has to make the save. And the game, the game didn't like that, did it? It really didn't. Right, corner. Coutinho trots over to take it. He's going to whip this in. He's going to try and get this to one of his teammates. I tell you what. Tyrone Mings was there. Tyrone Mings was looking, but he just couldn't direct it in the back of the net. The momentum is with us. We have been the better team today. That is for sure. Let's see what we can do to freshen things up a little bit. Right, Jacob Ramsey has not worked, so Pedro Gonçalves is going to come on. Matty Cash is going to come off for Max Aarons as well, and I think we're also going to bring on Ollie Watkins, and then we have got a few more changes we can make. No, we don't. They're all the changes, aren't they? I've just thought. I think they're all the... Well, we're going to commit to them anyway, because they're the changes we need to make. We're going to go for it. Demand a bit more from the boys. Come on, lads. Let's try and let's win the tie. Even if we can't win the overall tie, let's win tonight. Let's be the ones on top tonight and show Man City that we're not just taking it lying down. Coutinho now, looking for options. Floats it out to Cole Palmer, the current Man City lad who's going to be leaving Man City for us in the summer. And Ollie Watkins might have just got us the win on the night. I don't think there's enough time for us to get 2 more after this, but we need to wait and see if it's been confirmed. The referee's having a little chat with the man in his ear, and the result is, it is given. We are leading on the night. It's 2-1. And even if we're going out swinging, we're going out in style. I will take a win tonight if it means we go out, because it means that we've got a bit of momentum with a win, even if it's not a win overall. Right, Watkins, he doesn't want to stand for it. Whipping it in, looks for Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer keeps it in on the other side. Looking for Lucas Digne. Is Lucas Digne going to hit a worldie? No. Vitinha to Aya. We're just trying to find a way through here. Vitinha back to Digne. Digne going to look to try and cross it in here. Does he? No, he goes back to Vitinha. Down to Aya. Aya goes for the worldie. Aya scores the worldie. And all of a sudden, we've got 3.5 minutes left to find a winner. Well then. Well then. One moment. I know this is a little bit mad. I know this is ridiculous, but I want to go for this. I really do. 1 more goal, we get it to extra time. We're going attacking. We're going for it. I know that formation's ridiculous. I don't care. Let's fire the boys up. 1 more goal. Come on, lads. 1 more chance is all we need. Man City have got the chance. Foden whips it in, looking for John Stones. Stones whips it over. Do we get the highlight? We've got a highlight. Right, Koeman. We've got 30 seconds left. We just need to get the ball off of them and score a goal. And then we get it to extra time. Joshua Kimmich now. Trying to waste time here. There's 20 seconds left. Can we nick the ball? Coutinho brings his man down. I think he's going to get sent off here. At least it'll be a yellow card, if nothing else. He's just told him off, but that's the time. Man City have done really well to waste the time there. Foden whips it in, looking for Haaland. Haaland heads it over, and I think that is the game. But we've given it a bloody good effort tonight. We've given it a massively good effort. It's a shame the first leg went the way that it did. I have to be proud of the boys. I have to be proud of them, because that was a performance and a half. To do that with how they played against us in the first game, we didn't get a shot on target in the first game. We looked utterly shell-shocked. And then we go and do that to them. 1 goal away from getting it to extra time. Fair play, lads. And £10 million into the finances just makes things look a little bit more healthier. If the finances will ever load, that would be great. £15 million in the pot. We're close to making a profit for the season, but then we've still got money to come into the club at the end of the year. So finances are looking a lot better now. We've got £19 million in the transfer budget. I'm still intrigued to see whether that £18 million there will go up when we get everything confirmed. But that is the end of our Champions League journey. 2 goals from Aya. What a superb strike from Aya as well. Oh my word. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Right. We will be back for the FA Cup final, because why wouldn't we be? We're going to come back for that one. And then we'll come back. Oh my word. We've got Liverpool on the final day as well, boys. What did I do to deserve that? We'll come back for a Liverpool doubleheader. Final day of the season as well as the FA Cup final. I think that's what we have to do. Well, I don't know about you, but I need to lie down. That was absolutely insane. But I am proud of the boys. That is a heck of a result. Good on them. Let's try and take that as momentum to take through to the end of the season. And let's finish strong, shall we? Thank you very much for watching today. If you have enjoyed, please do, again, leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss any of the lovely FM content from yours truly, including the FM23 content that will be coming when the game releases. I've been Stubo, you guys have been awesome, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.